In Flashes and Fleets at the Sungate, we mentioned a method of transport called time tunneling. This term was given to me in 2018 when I started receiving the Rapture event information.
We also said that the topic of time tunneling would need its own report, and this is part 1 of that report. You may recall that the Orrery and the Sungate are heavenly technology created by God that perform particular functions up in the heavens. The activities taking place up there are of such tremendous interest to the Vatican that they've been constructing observatories and building telescopes for centuries in order to monitor them.
But this isn't the only heavenly tech God created. He also made Stargates.
Before we talk about what Stargates do, let's talk about what they are.
You've heard us say that the Rapture event is a divine time travel operation. And the reason we say this is that Stargates are formed by twin stars that are angels.
Yes, God created specialized angels who perform time transport by use of a method called time tunneling. Remember John Titor? When describing his military-issue time travel device, he taught us that time travel requires dual singularities to interact with each other.
Time tunneling, however, is a much more robust form of travel. John Titor's device could only transport him and his car through time. Stargates are capable of transporting immense amounts of mass at lightning speed through both time and space.
Both time travel and time tunneling are powered by dual singularities. And in the case of a Stargate, the twin stars themselves are the dual singularity.
Dual singularities housed in a magnetic field, which are explained in this video, are what provided the staggering amount of power needed for John Titor to travel through time at 10 years per hour. But time tunneling by a Stargate requires the constant generation of a tunnel just ahead. In other words, the tunnel is being built as the Stargate advances, which is why this method of transport requires heavenly technology of specialized angelic twin stars.
Of course, this begs the question that if the stars inside the dome are fake, where did these real stars come from?
And you'd be well justified in asking that question, Nancy. The answer is that these angelic twin stars were called in by King Yeshua for such a time as this.
So far, nothing we've said about Stargates matches up with what's depicted in movies, TV shows, or books. So it's likely that many are thinking we're making some pretty audacious statements.
Agreed, Nancy. But part 2 of this report will be providing the equally audacious evidence I was given to back them up. Here's a little teaser of where it all started. Before I ever filmed a twin star, I was studying Tesla's 369. Here's a bit more clarification on this image. Why would a twin star pair be emblazoned on the sun inside the Stellarium app? To be honest, I've not been given a direct answer for that. All I can tell you is that at the time I discovered it in 2019, I knew I was looking at a diagram of a Stargate. This diagram was what helped me realize that a Stargate uses the 369 formula in its operation. And there it was, Tesla's magnificent formula, hidden in plain sight on the largest object in Earth's skies. I will say this, that every confirmation I received for what's being shared here in part 1 and what's to come in part 2 came to me with zero effort on my part. These twin stars, being angels, used elaborate antics to get my attention, then gave me ample opportunities and time to film them, and even showed me how to refilm them while zoomed in on the original footage.
Every report shown on this channel is an exclusive, simply because no one else is aware of this information. And Jetson continues to receive more.
For example, during my research for the Sungate report, I saw some large binocular telescope, or LBT, images that made me realize that the alignment of the Orrery poles could actually be horizontal rather than vertical.
If Jetson is right, this is an important development in understanding the LBT images and the Orrery God created. If you go back and watch the Sungate report, Jetson provided the following image with callouts showing what he believed to be the position of the Sungate within the Orrery.
Based on the orientation displayed in the blue high 1 images, the Orrery stars appear to be riding on vertical poles. But after realizing the orientation of the poles could be horizontal, I was finally able to determine how the tracks run and even where they could be attached.
For example, some stars in the Orrery move toward the Sungate, while others are moving away from it. Jetson was able to see that this could be achieved by using two tracks on either side, with one track spinning one way and the other spinning the opposite way.
And since planets are known to have a variety of paths depending on cycles, each planet would have its own track. All that's left is where to attach the tracks. And that could be along perimeter lines encircling the inside of the dome.
Wow, that makes so much sense out of what's being shown in those high one images.
So we've just proposed a workable theory on how orrery stars travel. And in part 2 of this report, we'll show you actual footage filmed by me of twin stars tunneling through Earth's sky.
Thanks for watching.
See you in part 2.